welcome to ABC Gluten Free. Thank you for joining us today. We have a really great show planned for you, literally today, because we're using the Really Great Food Company packaged products today, and we're very excited to share this brand with you. And we're going to talk all about it today as we get going, but I want to introduce you to my helper, Sophia. Okay, say hi.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Ew, wake up, come on. So what are we making today, do you know? Do you know what we're making today? She doesn't know. Okay, so I'm going to tell you little by little. The first thing that we're going to be making today is going to come from a box that you may be surprised, but we're going to share it with you in just 1 minute. I just want to share with you a little bit of the Really Great Food Company because it's very interesting facts. If you don't know anything about it, you might want to go to the Facebook page and check it out because it has a really long history of being in the celiac community. It's a completely gluten-free product, and it's actually been available since 1991. So if you've never heard of it, you were like me just not so long ago, and now I've been introduced to it and I really love it. So I want you to join me as we get started, and we're going to make pepperoni bread. What do you think? You ready to make pepperoni bread? My helper Jeremiah is coming in just a second because we need him to get in the kitchen and help us start cooking, and gluten-free grandma and gluten-free dad are here to help us eat everything that we're going to be making. And I want to thank Marilyn and Scott for joining us today and sharing with us these beautiful products that they make. So first started is the pancake mix, and I know you're thinking, what's the matter? Oh, Sophia, B-Y-O-N, honey. Bring your own napkin because this is a drool fest, and we're rolling with the Really Great Food Company, and we literally are. Everything that we're going to be making today is a bit of a rolled procedure, and we're going to share with you just how you do it. Get the bigger bowl, please, over there. So the first thing we're going to be making is pepperoni bread. Now, if you're thinking, why are you making pepperoni bread with pancake mix? Well, that's exactly what we're going to share with you today. So if you've never seen this before, it has the instructions for pancakes on the back, which is great. You want to follow the directions if you're going to make pancakes. But if you're going to make pepperoni bread, you're going to want to go get a pen and paper real quick, and you're going to want to go write this down because we need you to follow the recipe after you order this item. You can get it on Amazon or you can get it on their Facebook page. They actually have a little shop button right on their Facebook page. And you're going to actually see our contest up. No, look at honey. You're going to see our contest up on their page pretty soon because we're going to be giving away a bunch of boxes of the Really Great Food Company packaged products that you see here today. But you have to be following the Really Great Food Company and ABC Gluten Free to find out the details. Alright, so we have about, let's see, Sophia probably put about 1.5 cups of the pancake mix in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to add some spices to that to offset the sugar that's in the package. So why don't you go ahead and get the spices. Over there. So this is a very simple process, and if you look at the back of the package, it's a little bit similar to that, but a little bit different. Because, no, we just need this. Thank you. Go put everything else in there. Thank you, guys. So we have the pancake mix in the bowl. Sophia has her whisk, and we're going to just dump all those spices right into the bowl. We have a little bit of parsley, basil, oregano, garlic, and we have crushed red pepper in there. Yeah. Just put them all in there, honey. Talk regularly, please, so everybody can understand what you're saying. Okay? Tell them what you're doing.
I'm adding the spices. She's
adding all the spices to our pancake mix because we're going to turn this sweet pancake mix into something savory. Okay, you can get rid of that. Alright, so we're going to add about a tablespoon of oil. Don't do it so much. Jeremiah, can you get the milk out, please? About a tablespoon of oil is going to go into that. Stop for a minute. Okay. And we're going to need the milk. Please get the milk. Alright, so we're going to use the coconut milk in this. If you wanted to use rice milk, that's totally up to you. You could use hemp milk. You can use flax milk. It's totally up to you. Thank you. So we're going to be using about a quarter to half a cup.
Hold on. Get half a cup.
You're going to get that out? Okay. Let me move this for a second.
No.
Alright, so Jeremiah's going to actually get moving on some other things that we have to get done. Okay, let me mommy pour it for you. Don't put it all in. Let's start and see how it goes. So you want to just get it till it's wet. Alright, how you doing, alright? Let's put these away, our little measuring cups. Oh, let mommy do that.
I can.
Let mommy do it, and you start. Go ahead. Alright, so we're going to stir this around. It really doesn't take very long. And then we're going to get our pan ready. Jeremiah, can you get our pan? We need our long rectangle pan, and we're going to oil the pan, and we're going to put some parchment on it. Okay, stop for a second. Now, once you get to that point where you've incorporated everything, you kind of want to switch over to something else. We need a spoon, Sophia. There you go. Alright, what she's going to do is just get everything together in a spoon. We're going to add a teeny tiny bit more milk because, as you can tell, we didn't put the full, what was that, Sophie? Half a cup, because I didn't want her to pour it all in at once because we want to make sure that we needed that. So just a splash more. There you go. Go ahead, finish that. Now, if you don't want to do coconut milk, like I said before, you can use rice milk, or if you can do dairy, you can do regular dairy milk. The milks do make a difference in your actual finished product, but when we're making it allergen friendly, and we want to make sure that we eliminate all of the allergens, you're going to want to keep it to a rice milk or a hemp milk or flax milk, something like that. If you have allergies to coconut, we don't need this, Jeremiah, thank you. We're going to actually keep it out. We want to keep all the allergens out. So if you have an allergy to coconut, you probably should have left the coconut milk out. Swapped it over for some rice milk. Alright, so we have our rectangle pan here, and we're actually not probably going to fill the whole thing. If you wanted to do the full box of the no honey. If you wanted to do the full box of the pancake mix, that would fill all of this. We only did about half of the box. Now, hold on, let me see. We just need a little bit tiny more milk. And you can even use water if you wanted. You don't have to use the milk. So this is like 3 ingredients we've used so far. We have the pancake mix, we have the herbs, we have oil, and we have milk. So 4 ingredients, right? And then we're going to need a piece of parchment. First we're going to, can you dry that off for me please, Jeremiah? First we're going to make sure your pan is dry because you don't want anything sticking.
Oil and milk.
Yeah, right? That was easy, right? Okay, let mommy see this. Alright, so we just want to make sure all the ingredients is incorporated. We don't want any dry little crumbles in there. Thank you, Jeremiah. And then what we're going to do is just a little teeny tiny bit more milk because I want it to be spreadable. And you know, sometimes it depends on the weather. It can have a little bit of dryness or something. Why don't you go get rid of that and wash your hands, please. Okay. So we've been working, testing some of these recipes for a few weeks now, and we found some really great ideas. Instead of using the box just for what it says on it, we found that the pancake mix worked really great for a pepperoni bread or something like that. We also used it to make little pockets, taco pockets. And what we did was we stuffed it with our leftover taco meat, which was delicious. And the kids really loved it. And those are some things that you can prepare ahead of time. You can freeze them and you can have them ready for when you feel like having something like that. Hold on, Mommy's going to put the parchment paper on. Now we're going to put the parchment paper on. Just a minute, please. Oh wait, what am I doing right now? I need the bread thing. I don't need this right now, but anyway. We're going to use this later anyway, so you guys know we're going to need a lot of parchment today. We want to make sure nothing sticks.
Wait.
Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to take this, I'm going to call this our bread mix. Okay, honey, thank you. And we're just going to let this out on the pan. We're going to use that in a second. And we're going to need some grated cheese and some pepperoni. Now, if you have dairy allergy, you might want to use Daya, and that's totally fine. You can use Daya in substitution of, we're going to use Kerrygold cheese.
I'll get you a little.
Can you get me a baggie? Now, you want to roll this out or press it out, and that's going to just take a few moments. Thank you. Can Mommy do that part, please? And you guys get the cheese ready. So I'm just going to press this out into type of a rectangle. Jeremiah, could you get me plastic wrap? Because I don't want to be all day. Nope, no cutting. I'm going to just take a piece of plastic wrap. Plastic wrap is a lot of times your best friend when you're doing gluten-free baking and cooking because it won't stick. Now, if you had a regular wheat flour or something like that, you can kind of just oil your hands or things like that. But sometimes with gluten-free baking, that doesn't necessarily go the way you want it to. Yeah, I don't want you grating though. That's too dangerous. No, I don't need you getting cut today. And the rolling pin, Sophie, go get the little rolling pin, please. Alright, so I'm just going to put the plastic wrap on top. And I'm going to roll this out. You have to wait. I'm gonna just roll this out into a rectangle. And I wanna kind of really keep it thin because I'm gonna be rolling this up, and you wanna make sure that you're baking the inside and the crust. Jeremiah's gonna grate the cheese, and we're gonna actually get something in the oven quickly. This is probably the quickest we've gotten anything in the oven on the show. So when I was reading a little bit about the Really Great Food Company, I came to learn that the owner, Chris, unfortunately passed away when he was 42. He had celiac disease also, and he developed these boxes with a chef. And I hope that, you know, he had a chance to enjoy the food that he created, but unfortunately wasn't around long enough to do and see the stuff that's going on now. So Scott and Marilyn are taking the company over, and they're doing an excellent job. And I actually met them at a food show, which is one of my favorite places to go. So when we got to try some new things, we always want to go to the food shows and check everything out. And they were there with their baking mixes. So now here we are. All right, so we're making our pepperoni bread. We just want to roll this out a little bit. I want to get it a little bit thinner because I want to make sure that it cooks all the way through. And Sophia's got me this beautiful little rolling pin that I can use.
Okay, the cheese is ready.
Okay, almost, honey. I'm almost ready for the cheese. Not quite yet. I got sticky stuff here now. Now when you do something like that, that was where the plastic wrap is not. So you can actually tell what's going to happen if you use your hands or something like that on this. It's going to be a mess. Right, so we're just going to re-roll that right into it. My plastic wrap and my hands are getting a little gooey. Can you get me the other rolling pin, please? A little teeny tiny one. I want to just clean off my hands and use a different rolling pin. I don't want to keep sticking to the same situation there. Mommy has to do this, okay? So I'm just going to re-roll that piece right in there, and as you can see, you can paste it right back together. Look at that. There's no problem there. Jeremiah, you're going to go put the sauce on. We have a little bit of our crushed tomato marinara sauce that we made a quick, simple marinara sauce. And what I mean by simple is just we opened a can of crushed tomato, we added some of our spices, and we let it simmer for the same time that we're going to allow this to bake in the oven. And that's going to be it. And that's going to be the side sauce for our pepperoni bread. Now, don't forget, if you don't like pepperoni, you don't like cheese, put your veggies in here. Do your broccoli bread, do your peppers and onion bread,
Do sausage.
do artichoke. I said if they don't like meat.
Broccoli.
Broccoli bread, yep, they can do broccoli. You can do artichoke
Broccoli bread is the best. I love broccoli bread.
So we have broccoli and pepperoni bread for every holiday, pretty much. And when Christmas comes, I have to make double and triple. And I remember talking to my friend Monique, who would make like 15 pepperoni breads for Christmas, and we would always compare, how many did you make, how many did you make? So it was always a fun thing to discuss how many pepperoni breads we're going to be making for Christmas. All right, so now we've got it all rolled out, right? And this pan I'm going to be using for something else. I'm just showing you. So now what we're going to do is we're going to layer our pepperoni on here. Thank you, Sophia. And we're going to just layer it all the way in. We're going to probably use a whole package of pepperoni for this loaf. Jeremiah, open the other package, please. And what you want to do is you want to layer it so it looks nice, but it's also spread out, not overlapping. Aw, thank you. I heart you too. Do you want to say hi to Marilyn and Scott, the ones that sent us all the really great food stuff? We're so thankful that you guys, sent us all this stuff to play with and to work with, and we're having a really great time with it. And it's funny because I say really great, and then you guys are called the Really Great Food Company, so it just kind of goes together really well. All right, so we're going to finish up putting our pepperoni in. We have about 12 slices or 16 slices of pepperoni. You want to count them?
12.
Okay, and then Sophie can sprinkle with the cheese. Hold this over here.
Sorry.
See, we have our pepperoni laid right on there, looking beautiful. Sophie's going to sprinkle the cheese.
It's like making a pizza.
It's just like making a pizza, which we did do with the pancake mix too, didn't we? That was fun. You don't remember? We ate it all. We ate it all, and everybody liked it. All right, so now when you're done putting your cheese on, we're going to show you how we have to roll this up. Come on, baby girl. We're going to use a spatula for that because we don't want anything to stick. Good job, guys. That's good. All right, so now here's the key to getting your pepperoni bread into bread swirls.
Got it.
Thank you. All right, so we're just gonna fold it over. Mommy has to do this part really, honey, okay? Thank you. And we're just gonna kind of press down on this. If you can see my spatula that I'm working it, I'm just kind of peeling it off of the parchment paper that I've oiled, which is the key to it. You gotta oil it. And then I'm just gonna keep folding it over until I go all the way. See how we use our parchment paper to get that rolled all the way over, and just kind of pull again, roll it again, and pull back. And the last piece, we actually have one more to roll. We're gonna roll this way, and we're gonna close it up and keep it sealed. We're gonna keep that sealed with the parchment paper, and now we're gonna put it on our bread baking pan. Yeah, you can roll that. Okay, that's enough. We're gonna put that on our bread baking pan. That's gonna go in the oven on 350 for about 35 to 40 minutes. And we wanna make sure we seal at the ends because we did have a little explosion in our oven yesterday and today. So we really don't want that to happen again, right?
2 days in a row.
2 days in a row. Excuse me. Start at 20. All right, so that's with our pancake mix from the Really Great Food Company. The second thing that we're going to be making, what are we using? Do you know? Do you know what we're making? She knows. We're making a roulade. Now, a roulade is a great summer dessert and is really wonderful if you're having a big crowd, a barbecue, or if you need to bring something to an event that you want to really show off a little bit of your technique and your skill. And this is really super easy because once you get it down and you know how to roll, just like we showed you to roll the pepperoni bread, the technique is the same, just the decoration and the ingredients is going to be a little bit different. So we're going to be making a red, white, and blue roulade. Now red, white, and blue is going to be on the inside. It's going to be our strawberries, blueberries, and our cream. And then we're going to decorate the top to make it like a little cool beach scene. This is going to be our Father's Day, this is our Father's Day roulade. And this is requested by Gluten Free Dad. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get started on mixing the actual cake. Sophia, first you have to clean up the cheese and stuff. Sophia's going to work on slicing the strawberries, and you want to get the, first this has to be cleaned off, guys, clean these off. And we're going to hull the strawberries and slice them nice and thin because we're going to put them into the cake and roll it. The cake is also going to bake on 350, the same as our pepperoni bread. So here we go. All right, so this is the golden cake mix. I kept saying plain and vanilla because it has a little bit of lemon, a little bit of orange, a little bit of vanilla in it. It tastes really good. And it really just reminds me of something you guys might know and have seen before. I want you to maybe take a little challenge. Open this box up, which probably has never been opened in our house before. We've never made a cake mix from a box ever. I've been in the restaurant business my whole life, so we made everything from scratch. Take that out, throw it away because it's not gluten free.
Like that, Mommy?
Go put this inside. And you're going to fool all your friends and family, and you're going to let them bake a Duncan Hines cake that was really the Really Great Food Company box because they taste exactly the same. So when you're baking this cake, it's exactly, the flavor and the taste is just like Duncan Hines. Now I realized that the Really Great Food Company came in second in the Gluten Free Awards, in the Gluten Free Registry, second to Betty Crocker, which is totally incredible. And if you've never heard of them, it's a little bit upsetting when you read the article and you're like, where did this company come from? How come I don't know anything about it? Well, now you do. So with the Really Great Food Company, it tastes like Duncan Hines, Betty Crocker, but you have no eggs, and you have no dairy, you have no wheat, no gluten, no casein, no soy. I mean, all of the things that are listed on the side here, if you could see that, I'll read it to you. No gluten, dairy, egg, casein, yeast, soy, wheat, nuts. So we just made a pepperoni bread without any yeast, without any soy. We put the dairy in it, but you don't have to do that. And no nuts, and you can option to do whatever you want. But we're going to make this roulade, which is going to be just a really nice plain vanilla cake. If you wanted to, you could do the eggs in it, which would make it a little bit more light and fluffy. We're going to do it without eggs because we want to make sure that everybody can have the cake, not just certain people. So I'm just going to open up this plain cake, the golden cake. You guys are hulling the strawberries, right? Jeremiah, get rid of that and put the bowl here. Put the strawberries in. So we're going to do about 2 cups of the golden cake mix. And that's going to make a nice long roulade for us. I'm not measuring, but if you want me to, here you go. It's 2 cups. All right, so that was one, and there's two. Okay, so there you go.
Oh, this smells good.
It smells delicious, right? Can you smell that vanilla? Can you smell that? It smells good,
I
right?
can smell from
You
here.
could smell it from here,
How
right?
can
That's
I
delicious
smell
vanilla.
it right when you open
You smelled it when I opened it? Awesome. All right, so we're gonna do about 1/4 cup of oil. Use whatever kind of oil you like. You wanna use olive oil, canola oil, grapeseed oil, sunflower oil, whatever. Just totally use, it's totally up to you, but know that you can swap out the oils without changing the flavor unless you're gonna use something like a hazelnut oil or sesame oil or an avocado oil. Those might alter the taste a little bit. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our milk and our water. You can do either or. We're just gonna probably do milk because that's what we wanna do. Can you check that? And we're gonna just pour this in. I'm gonna just pour about, that's 1/2 cup so far. I might need a little bit more. All right, so I'm just gonna stir this until it gets a nice batter. Now, as you noticed when we did the pepperoni bread, it was a little bit thick, not really loose, but it was a little bit thicker than it would have been if it was pancakes, obviously, because we weren't using it for pancakes. What are you guys doing? Still cutting? I'm gonna use about 1/4 cup of water, loosen it up a little bit more.
It's about 300
Yeah.
strawberries.
Now when you have a rice starch and a cornstarch in a batter mix, you have to engage it with the actual liquid to get it started. So you can actually see the little lemon and orange flecks in here, which is great. And that would make anything delicious, really. You have nice lemon peel, orange peel in there. This might even be good for our Hawaiian Christmas cake. Wow. We'll have to remember this when it's time for... My dad used to love a Hawaiian Christmas cake that my grandmother used to make. Had all fruits and stuff in it. Nobody in our family really likes it, but I do. This would be great batter for that. So if you have some family recipes and you want to try the cake mix out, this would be a great mix to try. Because not only is it really just like Duncan Hines, but when you start adding your ingredients to it, making it your own, you can do blueberries, you can do strawberries, you can do whatever you want. And it's just going to be delicious because the actual ingredients and the main substance of the baking goods are already in there in the right proportions. And that's a hard thing to do because if you're just starting to gluten-free bake or you're just starting to learn how to bake with different mixes, you know that mixing all of them together is very time-consuming and sometimes very frustrating and also very wasteful. So you get frustrated when you're wasting your ingredients and you're wasting your money. So this is a great way to discard all of that and just kind of go with the baking mixes. Save yourself some time, save yourself some money. All right, so we've got our big sheet pan here. And Jeremiah, I got it. And we're actually going to do oil it again. And we need parchment paper again. And I have that right here. These guys are slicing the strawberries nice and thin and the blueberries because when the cake comes out, we're gonna put the cream on it and we wanna do the blueberries and strawberries and line them up really nice and cute. So when you cut it, you get a nice little array of colors. So if you don't have parchment at home, you need to go get it because this one is not good with a paper bag. So you want to make sure you get good parchment paper and oil it yourself because the ones that come pre-oiled could have soy in them or canola, and you want to be very careful if you have those allergies that you don't buy the pre-oiled parchment paper. So we're just going to cut this piece in half. We have the restaurant size parchment paper, which I love. We use so much of it that I have to have it all the time. I'm just going to cut it in half. What are you doing over there? Are you eating? Maybe. Yeah, what are you eating? You don't have to cut the blueberries.
I'm cutting them.
She's cutting them anyway. I like them whole in there. But it's for gluten-free Dad, so whatever she makes, he's going to love. And I know that for a fact. Okay, so I'm just going to oil the top also.
Down with that.
What'd you say?
Down with the bag that's right here.
Excuse me, honey. So what do you guys are quiet today. What do you think about the pepperoni bread? Pepperoni bread is probably their favorite thing, right, Jeremiah?
Yeah.
They want to have it weekly, but sometimes I don't want to make it. And today in New Jersey, it's sunny and warm. We could be at the beach, right? That's what gluten-free Dad said when he came home. All right, so I'm going to pour this. I have all these boxes lined up here, and I'm so afraid to knock them over. So hopefully I don't knock anything over today, but this is our larger pan that we're going to be using for the roulade. Yeah, just leave them whole, honey. We don't need them like that. And I'm going to just pour everything right into there. No, because we need them separate. All right, so I'm pouring the cake into the pan. This cake is going to bake quick. It takes about 15 minutes. So that's why we didn't have to do this one first. The pepperoni bread takes a little bit longer. And let me move this out of the way. And I'm just going to spread this out all across the pan really thin. And as you can see, it's kind of like really kind of jelly. That's that corn and that rice in there. But when it bakes up, it's going to puff up nice. And like I said, if you wanted to, you can do 2 eggs in here instead of the oil. All right, so we're just going to continue to press this down into the pan. We want to get it all out, spread it out. There's no bubbles in here. You can kind of tell when you don't have gluten, you don't really have so many bubbles. More if you have baking powder, baking soda, then sometimes you will. Golden cake mix is delicious. Now this week while we were testing these, we made some roulades. We made some other little things that we'll hopefully share with you another time. And we also made some stuffed breads with chicken. That was really yummy. Chicken with peppers and onions. That's like a meal in itself. You only need that. You can take it with you on the go and you're all set. And when you're traveling with food allergies and you have a family, you really have to be prepared because there's no place you're going to stop and take a chance. It's just not worth it. And if you're traveling for business or work, you can't end up getting sick on the road, right? It's too dangerous. All right, so we're spreading out the roulade. You guys are doing a good job. Then we're going to have to make the cream too. All right, Jeremiah's going to put this in the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes. And the cake edges may get a little bit brown, and that's okay. Jeremiah, go ahead. So there we go. We just have it laid out. It doesn't even look like anything different, right? Because the parchment paper is about the same color. So we have our plain cake going in the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes on 350. All right, Sophia? You ready to go? We got another thing to do. Our next item is very, very super, super exciting. It's probably one of our favorite things that we found that we've created with another mix that comes from the Really Great Food Company. And this is something that everybody loves. There's stores in the mall all over the place dedicated to just this single item. And we're going to recreate it for you right here in about 2 more minutes. I just want you guys to clean this up so we can get rid of it and get started. So I'm going to I have to make sure I don't mix up the mixes because I don't want to mix up the mixes. So I have to make sure that I have the right one. This is the pancake mix. And this is the golden cake mix. I want to put it back in there. I know, thank you so much. Right, so don't forget, you can play a little trick on your family if you want. Maybe on April Fool's you want to wait or something, I don't know. And put that mix right into this Duncan Hines box, and I bet you they won't know the difference. They'll be hard to tell. Alright, so next, we're going to take back our bowl that we used before. Oh, Jeremiah, actually, can I have a new bowl? Is there a new bowl over there? Yeah.
Do we need our knives?
No, we need to just clean this up a little bit. Thank you. The next thing that we're going to make with the pancake mix is our cinnamon swirls. Now this is cinnamon. We love the cinnamon swirls. Gluten-free Dad loves the cinnamon swirls. Gluten-free Grandma loves the cinnamon swirls. And Jeremiah. Everybody loves the cinnamon swirls. And we made these for a friend of ours who has several different allergies, and they absolutely love the cinnamon swirls. So we have a little bit of a non-biased person tell us that these were actually delicious. So what I'm going to do is take the classic pancake mix. I'm just going to put the rest of that in there.
I'll get quick.
No. You don't need to whisk it because you're going to get it all over, okay? Thank you. All right, and the next thing we're going to put in there is very similar to what we did for the pepperoni bread. We're going to put good. We're going to start with half. We'll move along if we need to.
I'll pour some in
Go
there.
ahead. And then we're going to add a little bit of cinnamon in there. A little bit of cinnamon. Maybe a quarter of a teaspoon. Here, Sophia. Teaspoon. Alright, Sophia's going to stir that up with a spoon, and this is going to create the dough that we're going to use for our cinnamon swirls. Now, yesterday I had to smack everybody's hands away from them because they really wanted to just eat them all, and I couldn't let them do that because we needed them for today. So Sophia's going to just start mixing that batter, and I'm actually going to get mixing on the inside, which is the cinnamon and the brown sugar part.
Can I do the
Now, you
inside?
can finish that, please. Thank you. And Jeremiah, we need the earth balance. Can you get that out, please? Alright, so what we have here is some brown sugar, and we're going to put some cinnamon in there. So about a half a cup of brown sugar, and almost a quarter of a cup of cinnamon. Thank you. I need you to melt some of this, please. So what we need to do after we make the dough is we have to create the inside. So if you're not using butter, because you're making it dairy-free, we're going to use Earth Balance, and we're going to melt that up so we can actually spread it nice onto that sheet of dough that we're going to be making. Okay, Jeremiah, can you just...
I'm adding a little bit more milk.
Sophia's doing a little bit more milk now. The half a cup would have been for 1.5 cups of the mix, so we might have put maybe 2 cups in there. So you're going to need some more. Okay, there she goes. Like I said before, you can use rice milk, hemp milk, flax milk. You can use dairy milk if you can have dairy milk. You can use goat milk. Goat milk actually gives it a really nice consistency and a really nice kind of a fluff with that protein in there. So you might actually like the goat milk if you can tolerate it. All right, keep going, baby girl. All right, Mommy, see, please.
You want me to mix this under my this stuff?
Okay, we just want to incorporate it so that our cinnamon and all of our ingredients. No, just leave this away, please. I'll put this away. We don't need that, please. Thank you. All right, so what we need is a piece of parchment again and our oil. And we're going to actually oil it up. We're going to let that sit for a minute. Jeremiah, could you get me a little small rectangle pan, please? All right, so we're going to do the same thing again. Now I know this is Rollin with the Really Great Food Company, so we literally are rolling with them because everything we're making today is rolled. So we're going to do a little bit more of our oil. We're going to oil up the pan. And we're also going to oil the parchment paper that we're putting on top of it. Now I can hear my stomach growling. I think because we didn't eat breakfast, did we? So everybody's hungry. And even though we're making a little bit of food and a lot of sweets, at least we have something savory, right? Alright, so we just oil the pan, oil the parchment. So we have to do both. We're actually not going to bake it in this pan. We're just using it to kind of leverage ourselves. So we're going to put this in. Okay, not ready yet. We're going to put our cinnamon swirl dough right into here. We love cinnamon swirls. Cinnamon swirls are just probably one of the greatest things somebody developed. I got it, honey. So I'm just going to flatten this out. Thank you. Don't need it, it's okay. We're going to just flatten this out. And Jeremiah, could you give me a piece of plastic wrap, please? We're going to once again get our plastic wrap to kind of give us a little bit of free range here. I'm going to take it right out of here.
There's no eggs in here.
Alright, I'm just going to set this down. Thank you. Plastic wrap that sticks together, I hate that. Alright, so what we're going to do is just lay this out. Sophia, would you grab the other ends? Can you? Alright, grab this. Grab the other end with Mommy. Thank you. And let's put it right over. Let's put it over our dough. Come on, little girl, that's fine. Let's go.
Aha, I got it.
You hold the dough there. You hold that there. I'm just gonna, no, just hold your side. And I'm just gonna roll it out into a rectangle as best as I can. Now, a lot of times you get a gluten-free mix or a baking mix in a box, and sometimes the directions don't work so well. These directions actually work perfectly well, and they give you the substitution if you're going to use egg or not. And in our recipe, as you could see, we didn't use the eggs, we just used oil, and we used some of our own milk. Watch your fingers, baby. So we're just rolling out our cinnamon swirl dough, which is going to be spectacular. We can dance for cinnamon swirls, can't we? Yeah, watch your face, I don't want to hit you. You're too low. Oh. Okay, so I'm just going to go the way of the parchment paper. Going to try to make it as big as I can. Alright, so now we have that ready. Thank you, very well.
We put the butter first?
Alright, so now we're going to actually do all the butter, not all of it, but most of it, on the dough. Go ahead, Sophia, brush it all. And we're going to sprinkle it with our brown sugar and cinnamon that we've got here. Now that brown sugar, if you can't have brown sugar, you can substitute for coconut sugar, or you can just use regular raw sugar. Hold on a minute, please. It's totally up to you. But you have to have the cinnamon in there because that makes it the cinnamon swirls. Go ahead, you do it. And then later on, because we like nuts, and some of us can have nuts, we're going to toast some of those pecans and chop them up and put them on the top of our cinnamon swirls. But we don't want to tell you everything yet, so you got to stick around. All right, good job. Keep going all the way. So you want to cover the entire dough with your earth balance. You want to just do your butter or substitute, whichever one you want to use.
I thought this was
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
Go check the pepperoni.
All right. Go check that. Sprinkle. Another 12. All right, Sophia's gonna, you can just use your hands, honey. She's gonna put that brown sugar and cinnamon all over this. And if you wanted to now, you can also put some nuts in there. You can do raisins if you like. Our house is none of that, so we're gonna do a little bit of nuts later on the top with that nice little drizzle that goes with it. It's gonna be delicious, right? What do you think you like better, cinnamon swirls or pepperoni bread? Or you can't decide? Cinnamon swirls, really? Jeremiah. Jeremiah, I'm surprised he said the pepperoni bread because he loves sweet stuff. All right, girlie, let's go. Last of it, get it on. All right, so since we've been working with this, we've made over 16 different recipes just from 2 of the boxes here that you see. Now they have so many other boxes, that's my belly, right? They have so many other boxes. They have banana bread mix, which you just do the same thing. You add a banana, you add a milk alternative, and if you want to do the egg or just the oil, it's up to you. There's vanilla muffin, which sounds really good. I bet you guys would love this. And obviously it has no gluten, no dairy, no eggs, no soy. And you can do the egg substitute. You don't have to put the egg in there. Okay, that's enough. Thank you. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to roll this up just like we did before with the other items.
Can I help?
Not with this. Move this stuff out of the way. Thank you. So we're going to roll up our cinnamon swirls. And these are great to make for when you have friends coming over or you're having a brunch. Father's Day is this weekend, so this is a perfect recipe for Father's Day. I don't need it, thank you. All right, so as you can see, we're rolling it up really nice here. Got just one little boo-boo there, and they just fix themselves, really. And then we're going to roll that back over, and we're going to crimp the edges. Jeremiah, we're going to have to put this on, stop please. We're going to have to put this on that pan. So what we're going to do is normally we put this on the pan that has the holes that we bake the bread on. Normally we put that there. And we don't want the edges to seep out, so we want to get a little bit of a bigger pan. Or unless you're going to bring me that? Okay, bring me that. Be careful. He's going to bring it up here and we're going to add it. We're going to just add it to the pan. These pans are great for baking gluten-free stuff. All right, so our pepperoni bread is still baking. No taking, don't look. We're going to put it back. Go put that back in the oven. 2 hands, you need 2 hands with that. You need to get another thing. All right, don't touch that, Sophia. All right, so in addition to what we're making today, we have a little bit of marinara sauce on the back, which we told you about already, and that was just can of crushed tomato, some garlic, some spices, some fresh spices. Thank you, Jeremiah. And then we also have the little drizzle that we're going to make for our roulade, right? Let's clean this up and then we'll make our roulade. All right, we're gonna need the rest of this because we're gonna add that to the powdered sugar for our cinnamon swirls. We need that later. All right.
Wait.
Hold on. We need a little bowl. Okay, let me just clean up our mess here. We don't want to be mixing all of our ingredients together. Jeremiah, bring it to me. Go in the dishwasher. All right, so what we're going to do is just clean this space up. We have our strawberries ready and our blueberries ready that the kids got ready for our roulade. Hopefully that's coming out in like 1 minute. Let me see. 2 more minutes. All right, so 2 more minutes on the roulade, and that's going to just be ready to go. It's going to be ready to roll, literally.
I'll get a spoon.
I just want to share with you really quick. This has some of the nutritional facts and ingredients on it, which I can send to you if you have any questions, or you can visit their website and find out all the information. It has the cornbread mix, the golden cake mix, the pumpkin bread, the vanilla muffin. What else? The banana bread.
Classic pancake
brownies.
mix, chocolate, yellow cake, banana bread.
So now, when we were at the restaurant show, Gluten-Free Dad tried the banana bread, right? I think you tried that, and he said it was delicious, which he doesn't even like bananas, so that was quite a shock, right? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to make the little drizzle that's going to go on top of our cinnamon swirls. Sophia's probably favorite part, right? All right, so what we're going to use is powdered sugar, and we're going to use the earth balance. No. Powdered sugar. Don't start mixing, make a mess. Okay. We're going to use some of our earth balance that we have melted here. Go ahead, stir that up. That's a lot of extra there, and normally what I would do is when the cinnamon swirl is halfway cooked, I'll open it up and give it a little bit of brush with that earth balance so it can get nice and golden brown. Go ahead, keep stirring here a little bit more. You're good. You're good. I think you're good.
Maybe a little bit more because it's not
I
like...
think so. Teeny tiny bit. Teeny tiny bit more of our little butter mixture here. Now, if you wanted to, you can add a little bit of the cinnamon and brown sugar to this if you wanted it a different color. I like to keep it white because I like to look like those cinnamon buns that you have in the mall. Let Mom do it, okay? Okay, so that's just...
You might want to keep it there.
I think that's enough. Yeah, let me see. Now, when it's hot, or muggy, I should say, sometimes those butter substitutes get a little bit funny, so you have to be really careful with it. I'll give you a teeny tiny of milk, okay? And then just give her a little splash of milk. Go ahead. And then she's going to be able to drizzle that right on top of our cinnamon bun. Jeremiah, can you put that pan in the oven for about 5 minutes? Okay. Alright, so as our things are baking in the oven, what we want to just go over with you is we have the pepperoni bread in the oven that we use, which one is it? Classic pancake mix to make the pepperoni bread dough. We also have in the oven our cinnamon swirls, which we also use the pancake mix from the Really Great Food Company to make the cinnamon swirls. And then we have in the oven our roulade, which is going to be our gorgeous decorative beach cake that was made with the golden cake mix from the Really Great Food Company. So we have 3 items for you today, all rolled desserts, all great for barbecues, for holidays, for friends coming over, whatever. All right, watch out, Sophia. Very good. Now, Sophia's got this drizzle to a perfect consistency. Look at that. You want it a little bit thick. You want it to kind of melt over those cinnamon swirls. And I know Gluten-Free Dad could probably just take that and eat it by the spoonfuls, right? All right, so here's our roulade, and we want to get that off of the pan and cooled really quick. All right, be careful, I don't want you to burn yourself. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a kitchen cloth, I'm gonna cover it, and I'm gonna flip it over. Ow, don't burn yourself when you do it. Jeremiah, can I have the... Alright, so you need your oven mitts to actually get these off. Thank you, Jeremiah. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this, very hot. So what you want to do with the roulade is take off that parchment paper and let it cool for a little bit, not too long. Jeremiah, can get rid of that. Thank you. So now what you have is this gorgeous plain cake on your kitchen towel. Honestly, a clean kitchen towel you want, preferably. And Sophia's actually going to get our little umbrellas ready because this is going to be some of our decoration for our roulade. And we also have a couple of different options for you to do inside of the cake for your whipped cream version if you're doing a dairy-free version. Yeah, so you can just pick one, but you can do them all. So what we're going to talk to you about is just doing the inside. There's a couple different options. There is a coconut whip that you can use. You can do a regular, like a buttercream if you wanted to, which would just be butter and, obviously buttercream or cream cheese frosting you could do. You can also do fluff, which is an allergy-friendly food, and most people know that as an allergy-friendly food, and we also do. You can do that inside. Or you can do a regular frosting, like a Duncan Hines Betty Crocker kind of a thing. So for that, we just grabbed like a jar of frosting, and it's totally up to you. But I think Gluten-Free Dad is going to pick today what he wants to go inside and on top. Gluten-Free Dad, what do you think? You want this inside? All right, so we're going to do the cream inside. And this actually will sit out for a little bit, and actually I think we can, yeah.
So this one's broken.
Our cake is still a little bit too hot. We're going to wait like one more minute. So while we're waiting, what we're going to do is we're going to cover this with the cream. We're going to do lines of strawberries and blueberries to make it really decorative. Now you'll probably see online, everybody's going to be doing for 4th of July, the flag cake, the blueberries here and the strawberries here and the white frosting, and those are really pretty and very cute. This is also a little bit of a variation for you to do. And you can do it rolling it up, and when you cut it, it's going to look very cute, especially if you have like this nice white cream inside. You can also do, if you wanted to cut the cake into little squares and do stackables. So you can stack them up and do the blueberries and strawberries and the cream in the middle, and then do the whipped cream on the top and have it looking really lovely like that. It's totally up to you. You can also do a cut layered cake, which would be just to cut this into the same sizes, 4 different, and then kind of stack it up, almost kind of like a Napoleon, but a cake version. And that would be totally up to you, but you can do so many things with the plain cake mix. And this is just one of them that we're sharing with you. All right, so I'm hoping that we're cooled down enough that we can do this without making a total mess, but we want to show you really quick how to do.
So yeah, that's cool down.
All right, so we're just going to take the cream and put it all throughout the middle here.
Red, white, and blue. That's right.
And as I go, the kids can start putting the strawberries in a nice line. Jeremiah, you're good at that, so why don't you do it in a nice line. Line them up all the same way. Just go right down in a row. And then Sophia will follow him with the blueberries right next to them. And this cake you can actually put right in the refrigerator as soon as you're done. And you want to put your frosting on it. We're going to use the whole container here because we do have a pretty big cake. Good job, guys. Good job. You want to work kind of fast because you need to be able to roll the cake. So that's why it's good to have extra hands and extra helpers. So if you're in the kitchen doing this by yourself, go call your kids or your grandma and grandpa and bring them down and help you out. All right, so we're almost done. The kids are catching up to me, which is good. Good job, guys. Sophie, you can put some more blueberries on there, honey. All right, so we actually have the pepperoni bread baking in the oven. We have the cinnamon swirls still baking in the oven. We have our roulade cake that came out, and I know Jeremiah's got the bell dinging. You want to go check that? Or do you want me to? Want me to go check? All right. Oh, that's looking good. right, there's still bacon in the oven, but thankfully we have ones that we made earlier today that we're going to share with you as soon as we get this done. Go ahead, Jeremiah. Good job, honey. Do you want to go back and cut those things up for me? And I'll finish the strawberries. Okay. Thank you. All right, Jeremiah's going to go back and cut the pepperoni bread up, and he's going to cut the cinnamon swirls, put them on a nice plate for us, and we're going to get decorating our roulade with our beach theme, which is perfect for the summer and the holidays. What'd you say? There's stuff over there, knives over there. Sophie, excuse you, honey. All right, so I'm just going to finish putting these here.
Mommy, I got it.
All right, we want to fill in the gaps. We want blueberries and strawberries in there, but that's okay. Let's taste them. Pretty good, pretty good. All right, we're done.
I'm almost
Gluten-free
done.
Dad, can you get our fish plate for us? Okay. Good job, Sophie. Good job. So I'm
Almost
gonna
done. I'm
turn.
almost done. I'm almost done.
We won't take it away yet. Thank you for everything. Come on, Sophia. Come on, Sophia. The clock is ticking. Come on. She doesn't like to be timed for anything, even when she has soccer drills. Okay, so we have this gorgeous. Let me show them, please. Please stop. Can you move your arm? Thank you. So we have this gorgeous roulade cake. We hope it doesn't fall or anything. And what we're going to do is just roll it up. Go ahead, put them on quickly. You're going to put the rest of those blueberries on and then move your arm so I can roll it, please. Come on. Move it. All right, we're going to roll this up. Sophie, get rid of the blueberries and stuff, please. We're going to roll up this nice and tight. Now, if you wanted to, you could do your parchment side down so you can utilize the parchment in your favor, which is a very good idea. Okay, we're rolling it up. Now comes the hard part. The hard part is getting it onto the plate.
That's a big roulade.
That's a big roulade. You think we can fit it, or we need to cut some
Yeah, I
ends
think
off?
you
We can fit it? Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to take our cake and our towel. This is like moving a patient in the operating room. We're just going to move it right onto the plate. Sorry. Yeah, we're going to have to cut some of those edges off. Sophia, let me have...
Mommy, when do you want me to put the umbrellas in?
Alright, just you have to move over because I don't have any room to do anything. Just move over a little bit. We're just going to cut off some of the end here. And obviously that will not go to waste because Gluten-free Dad's going to handle that. Sophia's already gawking at it. We're going to cut off this end. Now you should have a bigger platter, you know that, right? Our little fish platter is not big enough. But look at that inside. We've got the cake, the cream, we've got the strawberries and the blueberries, and we've got everything seeping out of the sides. Oh my goodness. This is going to be awesome. All right, now we have to get this off of here. So we're just going to roll it.
Whoa.
Take the towel
What
out.
happened there?
And then we're just going to kind of do the best that we can. No. Sophia, we're not even done yet. Stop. All right, so now we need to cover it with our topping. We're going to do frosting on the top. All right?
I'll get the frosting.
No, I'm going to use this, Sophia. Can you get rid of that towel, please? Thank you. All right, so we have this gorgeous coconut cream frosting. It goes perfect with the coconut cream inside. I wanted to try to slant the cake a little bit, but I'm afraid to touch it. You can see it as it's right on that beautiful fish plate there. All right, I'm going to put this cream on top. Let me just wash my hands off. And our spatula. They're not on the same plate, different plates, and you have to decorate them right thing, please. All right, so we have our pepperoni bread coming out. We have our cinnamon swirls coming out. It's a good thing we didn't do any more stuff today because we would have ran out of time. All right, so I've got our spatula and we just have cream here. This is coconut cream. It'll start to separate in the refrigerator, but you want to just maybe push it back together. We're going to just decorate the top here. Sophia's actually going to get our real decorations, which are, along with our umbrellas, we have some shell candy, we have some sea glass candy, and we have some sand crumbs that we're going to put on here. We're going to top this off. Now this obviously would need to go in the refrigerator to set for a little bit, and then you can kind of do that that fork crosses on there and make it look like the coned beach.
Where's the thing?
Okay, so we've got our roulade almost ready. We have our little sea glass pieces here. We're gonna stick those on. I'll get it in a second. That's our little sea glass. Now, if any of you collect sea glass or go to the beach, you know that blue is the best you want to find. So of course we had to get blue sea glass for that. And we have just leftover cake here from before that we toasted a little bit. No, I'll do some and then you do some. And we're just gonna kind of sprinkle it on there for the sand. Why don't you get the fruit rolls, honey? No, get the fruit rolls, please. And we have little fruit rolls that we're going to use for our beach blankets, which are going to be really cute. And if you're a sea glass hunter, you have to find it in the sand so it doesn't just pop out at you. Alright, so we have a little fruit strips that we're going to be... Can you take that away for now? Just for now? Alright, so this is going to be our blanket, and what we're going to do is just cut it. Time to do that. We're just going to actually hopefully get into it unless no more. So there's our roulade. We have our decorations on there for the beach. Jeremiah's going to take that away for just a few minutes to take some pictures while we get started on the last bits of everything that we're going to eat. Let's clean this up, please. Alright, so we have our pepperoni bread here and we have our cinnamon swirls. So there's two things that we need to finish doing. Can I have that glass plate, please, over there? Thank you. So for the cinnamon swirl, no, Sophia. For the cinnamon swirls, these are actually umbrellas we used to use on every sandwich and wrap that went out of our sub shop. We would use it, and it would be our decoration, and that was our logo for summertime subs. So I really love those little umbrellas. So we're gonna take our pepperoni bread, and we're gonna just kind of line it up here. We're going to drizzle some of our marinara sauce right on the top so we can all have a bite. Sophia's going to, you can get those cinnamon swirls ready, honey. Put them on a nice plate.
Is there a nice plate here? Where's the plate?
On that plate. Alright, so here's our delicious pepperoni bread. And I'm going to have the boys take that away real quick too.
I love
My rings are bowing, so I'm going to take them off. So we're going to just put this over there for now. Sophia, that's not ready yet, but we're going to get it ready. Step off for a minute, please. So we're going to get our cinnamon swirls right onto our beautiful plate here. And these were cooked yesterday, and they really stick around really well. All you have to do is reheat them. No, not so many, just a few. And Sophia's going to drizzle them. What happened to our pecans? We're going to chop some pecans for us. No, why don't you go get them? She can drizzle that on the top and put this stuff away. We don't need any of that anymore. You guys can put the cake in the fridge if you want, if it's going. We're going to put the cake in the refrigerator so we can let it sit for a little bit and then we'll take some pictures. We do have another roulade in the refrigerator that we can eat, but we'll probably just wait until we cut those slices off. Thank you, honey. That's good. Alright, so go get the pecans. Go get the pecans, please.
There we go.
We do have those pieces of roulade that we can all eat, right? Can you get the pecans, please? Thank you. She gets all excited and she just wants to eat, yeah. So we have just a little bit of pecans that we want to put on the top. I'll open and you chop. How about that? Alright, go ahead. So we just want to actually drizzle just little pecans on the top and we're totally done. You guys gonna eat? Go ahead and eat. You guys want to eat? Sophia, I'll do it. You can eat. Okay, go ahead. She wants to do it. Yummy. I'm gonna have a bite. Thank you. rolls are yummy. We hope you guys BYON. Now's the time when you're going to be drooling. And guess what? It's time to go. Oh my goodness. Everybody's going to have a little bit of pepperoni bread. I'm sure they're going to have a lot of cinnamon swirls. And we're going to share this roulade. I don't know, gluten-free Dad, you want to come and take a bite? This one doesn't have anything on it. This is like you can just pick it up and eat it. Want to try that? Oh look, the coconut cream's coming right out the edge. I'm gonna take another bite. The plain cake is yummy. The strawberries and the blueberries in there really just make it nice and fresh. You don't want to do the cream, you can do a yogurt. Nice and light cake. Delicious. No eggs, no dairy, no gluten, no soy. All delicious, but totally free from all the allergens. We love that about the Really Great Food Company. We're so glad that you guys shared it with us, and we're so glad to share it with you. Now, to enter the contest, you're going to go to our Facebook or Instagram page. You're going to follow the Really Great Food Company, which is Really Great Food. And then you're going to check for details because we're going to do the contest all the way down to the end of June. So you're going to say which one you would want to open first from the boxes that we did today, including the ones that we didn't open, and you're going to tag a friend. So we're going to put all the details on our Facebook and Instagram page, so you want to go hop over to there. As soon as we get done with the show and cleaning up and taking our photos, we're so glad that you joined us today on ABC Gluten Free. You guys had a good time? What's your favorite thing, Sophia?
Pepperoni bread.
She changed to the pepperoni bread, didn't she? Jeremiah, what's your favorite thing?
Pepperoni bread.
Pepperoni bread. Gluten-free Grandma's still waiting to get her piece. Everybody else is eating over here. Zach, how about you?
She got it.
Did you try everything yet?
Yes.
What was your favorite? The roulade? We made that for him, and he requested it, so I'm glad that he likes it because now that can be his Father's Day cake, okay?
Sure.
All right, you guys, thank you for helping Mommy today. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you, Jeremiah, for helping Mommy today. You guys, it's time for us to go. We hope you had a great time today. We want you to try or make our recipes from the Really Great Food Company. The box doesn't always mean what's in the box. So we want you to go ahead and try something new. Think outside of the box and create your own exciting recipe from the Really Great Food Company. You guys, thanks for helping me. And you want to say goodbye, Sophia?
Bye-bye.
Ciao for now, guys.
Ciao.
We want you to come taste and see how good it is to be gluten-free. God bless. Have a great weekend.